addiction, sexual, chemical, hobbies, sport, all these things. They can be, or they are used to reduce stress, but they can also cause stress. I've had a lot of athletic friends that have overdone their athletics, and instead of it being a positive impact on their lives, it's turned out to be a negative impact on their life. One of the guys I went to school with, and I'd swim with him at the pool over there, he was a surf club champion and swimming champion, and he carried on with that through the latter part of his life and broke down. He broke down. His body broke. It took years for him to recover. He finally recovered, and now he just goes at a steady pace. We can overdo things. We can try and overcompensate in areas of our life to try and produce something positive, only to end up with something negative. We have to be very, very careful of that. It's the same with sex. When you mix drugs in your system, it usually will accelerate your sex drive, and that's all well at the start, but you can have sex to the point where you begin to become destructive mentally and physically on yourself, and that has consequential results. Beautiful day here today at Gosford on the New South Wales Central Coast. When you're in a relationship and you're trying harder and harder, and the person really is not playing their part in the relationship, they're not playing their role, there's always this doubt in your mind, there's always this void left by the other person between you and them, a void that you can't seem to fill, yet they'll put time into things that aren't excuse me, important to you. They appear to be important to them. Come on, mate. Well, they are important to them, and they're so important that they'll neglect and risk the relationship as a result. They'll risk having the relationship as a result, and they'll push, and you can say things to them and ask them, can we bring this into line, or can we just look at this and slowly fix things or work at things and make them right, and you'll be ignored. And you'll be ignored because you're not all that important. You're not as important as you thought. You're not as valuable to that person as you would have liked to have thought you were. That's the simple, plain, horrible, here please, dreadful truth of it. And that can be shocking for many of us who, in our own way, have an ego, idealized, pedestalized view of ourselves. We become very entitled and think that, our entitlement measures how people are going to feel about us and react to us. And we become self-deceived in the sense that our view of ourselves will equal the person's performance towards us, and that's not so. We aren't the most valuable thing in our world. We aren't, or anybody else's world for that matter. We're in a matrix that goes on a day-to-day basis, and if you check out, if you die or something like that happens to you early, some people can't get you in the ground quick enough. Others will hang around the grave and visit the grave each week for the rest of their lives. Different values and measures of commitment across the spectrum. The matrix has many different ways in which it works within itself. And just looking down at the water after the storms, we get lost in our own matrix, mental matrix, within the bigger spectrum of the matrix. And this complicates things even further, because our fantasy view, our idealization of ourselves and the other person that we're in a intimate relationship with, usually doesn't manifest the way we would like. And when things don't manifest according to our fantasy, a fantasy that we don't even know that's there, we're living out fantasies that start to fail against the construct that we've formed within that fantasy and we expect to work out. When those fantasies fail, we punish the people that we're in an intimate relationship with, and in some cases, or a lot of cases, we punish ourselves as well, and we medicate and take drugs to try and ease the fact of the matter of our fantasy failed. What we thought was going to happen failed, but it was a fantasy. It didn't fail. Our perception, our hope, expectation, our unrealistic view of what we wanted to happen within the relationship just didn't go the way that we wanted it to. And to the person that we're with, Hank, this way please. Hey, this way please. Hank, come on. I'm trying to get this little dog a little bit more obedient. So to the person that we're with and to the fantasy that we have, we've been deceived by the matrix within the wider matrix of which we live. We become viral within ourselves, and that virus is our carnal, sinful nature. The nature that we do not want to accept that we have, a nature that works against us, to ruin us, to ruin our relationships, to ruin what we believe in and what we think's right, what we want. And in many ways, you have to surrender to the fact that there is an evil, and this is what psychology is starting to slip a bit now and use words like evil, religious terms. Like, in many ways, evil is a religious term, even though it is a real term describing something that's bad. As we recognize the evil within ourselves and what it's doing to ourselves and the people around us, we have to come to that place where we need to learn a way of dealing with it, and it's too strong for us. And that place is the cross. That's the place where evil was met and destroyed. When Jesus, the Lord Jesus Christ, died on the cross, and all you need to do is believe in what he did.